Beneath the shimmering blue expanse of the South China Sea lies a vast, untapped treasure trove, one that could redefine the Philippines' future. Hidden deep below the waves are immense reserves of oil and natural gas, resources that are not just valuable but crucial for the nation's long-term energy independence and economic security. For decades, the Philippines has looked beyond its shores for the fuel that powers its homes, industries, and transportation. But now, the promise of self-reliance glimmers beneath its own waters, offering hope for a new era. Experts estimate that the South China Sea holds an astonishing 11 billion barrels of oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. These numbers are more than statistics. They represent the potential for economic transformation on a national scale. If harnessed, these resources could fuel the Philippines for generations, reducing the country's dependence on costly imports and insulating it from global price shocks. Imagine a future where Filipino cities are powered by energy drawn from their own seas, where industries thrive on reliable, affordable fuel, and where the nation's economy is strengthened from within. Today, the Philippines imports the majority of its energy, making it vulnerable to international market fluctuations and supply disruptions. The ability to tap into its own reserves would be a game changer, providing a stable foundation for growth and development. It would mean more than just keeping the lights on in Manila's bustling skyline or fueling factories across the archipelago. It would mean true energy security, and the freedom to chart its own economic destiny. Yet the path to this brighter future is fraught with challenges. The South China Sea is not just rich in resources, it is also a region of intense geopolitical tension. China's sweeping claims over these waters overlap with the Philippines' own, leading to standoffs at sea and diplomatic disputes. Every step toward developing these resources is shadowed by the risk of confrontation, making the quest for energy independence a complex and delicate endeavor. For the Philippines, the stakes could not be higher. This is not just about oil and gas, it is about sovereignty, national pride, and the right to determine its own future. Filipino leaders face the daunting task of defending their country's interests while navigating a web of international diplomacy and regional power struggles. The decisions made today will shape the nation's destiny for decades to come. Successfully tapping these resources would be more than an economic victory. It would be a triumph for the rule of law and the principles of fairness in international relations. It would send a powerful message that might does not make right, and that even smaller nations can stand up for their rights on the global stage. The challenge is immense, but so is the opportunity. By harnessing its maritime wealth, the Philippines can secure a brighter, more prosperous future for its people, one where the nation's energy flows from its own seas, and its destiny is firmly in its own hands. China's ambition in the South China Sea has led to a campaign of intimidation against the Philippines. Chinese Coast Guard and militia boats create a hostile environment, deterring energy exploration. Dangerous maneuvers and water cannon attacks are common, escalating tensions. The Second Thomas Shoal is a flashpoint, with China attempting to blockade Filipino Marines. Despite economic pressure, the Philippines' resolve has only strengthened. Instead of breaking, the Philippines seeks stronger alliances and defends its maritime rights. China's aggression has only hardened the Philippines' determination. Despite Chinese aggression, the Philippines remains undeterred. Under President Marcos Jr., the nation asserts its maritime rights, continuing oil and gas exploration. Survey vessels escorted by the Coast Guard gather crucial data despite Chinese harassment. The Department of Energy actively invites investment, revitalizing stalled projects. By publicizing Chinese harassment, the Philippines turns international opinion in its favor. The nation's energy projects symbolize defiance and sovereignty. Each step forward is a victory against coercion, securing a future of energy independence. The Philippines isn't alone in defending its maritime rights against China. Across the South China Sea, a growing number of regional neighbors are standing firm, determined to protect their sovereignty and resources. The struggle for control over these vital waters has united countries that once acted independently, forging a sense of shared purpose in the face of mounting pressure from Beijing. Southeast Asian nations like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam also face similar intimidation from Chinese vessels and Coast Guard ships. Malaysia continues to drill new wells in contested waters, refusing to back down. Indonesia has completed extensive seismic surveys, mapping out valuable resources despite repeated Chinese incursions. Vietnam, meanwhile, has expanded its outposts and reinforced its presence on strategic islands, determined to safeguard its claims and economic interests. This collective defiance is more than just a series of isolated actions. It forms a powerful regional front against China's aggression. By coordinating patrols, sharing intelligence, and supporting each other's efforts, these nations are sending a clear message. They will not be bullied or divided. At high-level ASEAN meetings, leaders and defense ministers share strategies and discuss joint responses, creating a far more challenging environment for Beijing to exploit. The spirit of cooperation is growing stronger as countries realize that unity is their best defense. The success of these countries in pushing forward with oil and gas projects, infrastructure development, and maritime security operations inspires the Philippines. Their achievements prove that progress is possible even under constant threat, and that determination can yield real results. For China, the inability to halt these regional developments is a growing concern. Its Coast Guard and Navy are stretched thin, forced to monitor multiple flashpoints at once. The more the region resists, the more Beijing's resources are tested. The sight of successful projects and regional solidarity encourages Manila, reinforcing the belief that unstoppable progress is within reach when nations stand together. The Philippines wields international law as a powerful weapon. The 2016 arbitral ruling invalidated China's 9-line claim, affirming Philippine rights. This ruling reshaped the legal landscape, declaring China's actions illegal. Despite China's rejection, the ruling bolsters the Philippines' diplomatic efforts. The Philippines champions the ruling globally, framing the dispute as a legal issue. International support grows, isolating China diplomatically. The ruling provides moral and political backing for the Philippines' energy independence quest. The Philippines builds a global coalition to support its maritime rights. The U.S. reaffirms its defense commitment, deterring Chinese aggression. Japan, Australia, and others enhance security ties, forming a new security grouping. European nations increase their presence, conducting joint exercises with the Philippines. This coalition sends a message that the world watches China's actions. The alliances provide training, hardware, and intelligence, boosting Philippine defense. The international presence raises the cost of Chinese aggression. The Philippines' alliances give it confidence to continue its energy development. The Philippines' energy story is not just about resources or territory, it's about the extraordinary courage and resilience of its people. Every day, Filipino men and women rise before dawn, ready to face the challenges that come with defending their nation's interests at sea. Their determination is written on their faces as they look out over the vast, unpredictable ocean, knowing that their work is vital not only for their families but for the entire country. Navy sailors, Coast Guard personnel, and fishermen all share the same waters, but their daily routines are anything but ordinary. They face constant risks from Chinese harassment, encounters that can escalate without warning. For the fishermen, every trip out to sea is a gamble, as they navigate not just the elements, but also the presence of foreign vessels that threaten their livelihood and safety. For the Navy and Coast Guard, each patrol is a mission to protect, to deter, and to stand firm in the face of intimidation. The defense of the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting ship grounded on the Second Thomas Shoal, has become a powerful symbol of Philippine sovereignty. Soldiers stationed there endure harsh conditions, isolated from their families, yet they remain steadfast, their presence a daily reminder that the Philippines will not yield its rightful claims. Even when injuries occur, whether from accidents, confrontations, or the relentless environment, these sailors' resolve remains unshaken. Their courage in the face of adversity inspires national pride and serves as a rallying point for Filipinos everywhere, reminding the nation of the sacrifices made to protect its sovereignty. Beyond the front lines, survey vessel crews and Filipino scientists work tirelessly to chart the seabed and map the country's maritime resources. Their efforts are crucial in asserting the Philippines' rights over its natural wealth, providing the data and evidence needed to support the nation's claims in international forums. The bravery of these individuals, whether in uniform or as civilians, strengthens the nation's resolve and unity. Their actions bring together communities from across the archipelago, fostering a sense of shared purpose and hope for a better future. These stories from the front lines reveal a Philippines that is not passive, but an active defender of its rights and its people. Each act of resistance, each successful patrol, and each scientific discovery adds another layer to the nation's ongoing struggle for dignity and recognition. At the heart of this struggle are the people, their hopes, fears, and unwavering commitment. The human element makes the Philippines' cause deeply compelling, as families anxiously follow the news and communities rally behind those on the front lines. Ultimately, this is a fight not just for territory, but for dignity, sovereignty, and the promise of a hopeful future for generations to come. The courage and unity of the Filipino people light the way forward, inspiring the nation to stand tall in the face of adversity. The Philippines modernizes its armed forces to back its diplomacy. The focus is on maritime and aerial capabilities, not matching China's might. New assets like frigates and anti-ship missiles enhance defense. Partnerships with allies improve surveillance and response capabilities. Military infrastructure developments bolster the Philippines' defensive posture. This modernization shows the Philippines' commitment to defending its sovereignty. The Philippines' pursuit of resources is a story of national growth. It's about courage, strategy, and a future of sovereignty and prosperity. The Philippines stands firm, defending its interests against a superpower. Successful resource development promises energy security and economic growth. This struggle unifies the nation, fostering pride and purpose. The Philippines emerges as a proactive regional leader. Each step forward is a victory, proving the future is forged by the brave. The Philippines writes a new chapter, standing tall as a sovereign nation.